Hey guys, come on in. Today I'm going to be showing you where the magic happens. You want to follow me back this way. It's a little waiting area, restroom. I'm down here. And you're just going to come on this way. And here is the studio. Studio 221. Hey guys, my name is Dominique and this is our very first video. On this YouTube channel, we're going to be sharing hair tips, tricks, tutorials, just things I've learned over the years. I started doing hair when I was 9 years old, so I've been doing hair for a good chunk of my life now, and I'm just so excited to share what I've learned, and hopefully you guys will learn something new too. I'm going to be sharing different style ideas, different hair techniques. I do a lot of flat irons, two-strand twists. I have a good bit of dreadlock clients as well. I got my license straight out of high school from the Paul Mitchell of Nashville School. So I've been licensed for 7 years now, but I've been doing hair since I was pretty young. So hopefully you guys will learn something new. I'm really excited to share with you guys. I started doing hair when I was pretty young. My mom and dad have a million children, so I grew up in the house with 5 sisters, and my mom was just going crazy trying to keep up with all of our hair and keep it detangled and washed, and those are the relaxer days, so we did have relaxers for a good bit of our childhood. So I kind of started out with just wanting to help out my mom, so graduations and stuff like that, when everyone had to get their hair done, I kind of just jumped in there and helped out. Then I started doing my brother's hair, and then my aunties wanted theirs done, and my cousins, and that's how I got started. I didn't start really taking it seriously probably until I was about 15 years old, when I was like, okay, I'm in high school, I need to figure out what on earth I want to do with my life, and I always felt a lot of comfort doing hair, and I always felt a lot of just happiness and joy. It made me really happy to do hair, and when I'm finished and the person jumps up and they're so excited, I was like, okay, I really want to take this seriously. This is really what I want to do. When I first graduated from Paul Mitchell in 2014, I believe, I'm so excited to get out into the industry. I felt really confident. I was so ready to do hair. And I remember, like, time after time, I was like, I'm not as good as I think I am. Like, I made so many mistakes the first early years where colors were bad. People's haircuts didn't come out. Like, I thought I killed it, and it turns out that was not the haircut that they wanted. I don't think I got really comfortable doing hair probably until about my 3rd year, and my technique had to get a lot better, but also I had to learn to ask the right questions. The consultation that, a lot of times it goes wrong because the consultation wasn't thorough enough. So when you're done and you're like, okay, I killed this mohawk haircut, when in reality they wanted more of a stacked bob. So that was, I feel like, my biggest challenge was learning to ask the right questions. And even if a client says, I want more body, more movement, that has nothing to do with the style. I had to learn I need to layer that hair to break up the weight so it gives it that body and movement. So even though they say one thing, you kind of have to know what that means in terms of what the style and the haircut consists of too. So that was for sure my biggest challenge. That was my hardest obstacle to overcome. Once I got more comfortable with that, that's when I feel like I started getting better at hair. One of the most commonly asked questions that I get is a lot of different women, and even some men, mostly women, will ask me, how do they go natural, or what's the first step to starting their natural hair journey? The 2 different ways, if you're relaxed, is to either big chop or to transition. You really need to be honest with yourself and figure out what you're comfortable with. Each way has its pros and cons. For a lot of people, transitioning is ideal because it's more gradual and they don't have to lose their length. So they can cheat a little bit with twist outs and put rods on the end, or stay in braids or sew-ins or whatever they're comfortable with until their hair grows out a few inches, and then they chop off the straight pieces. Other people say, I'm doing this, I'm jumping right in, and they go ahead and just cut off all their relaxed hair. This is great because then you don't have to worry about camouflaging the 2 textures, but then you do have, very little hair to work with. So you really have to be honest with yourself and figure out, what am I comfortable with? what will make me happier, what will be easier for me, and what's my lifestyle. Do I need to wash my hair a lot because I work out a lot? Do I have to stay, in my military? Do I have to keep my hair a certain way or a certain setting for my work? So you really got to ask yourself what you can commit to, what you're comfortable with, and which ultimately will make you happier with starting your natural hair journey. The natural hair tip for this video, which I cannot preach enough, is for your hair moisturizers. The first ingredient has to be water. A lot of people have so many issues with their hair not, feeling soft enough and breaking off. And a lot of times it's just because the products that we've been conditioned to use over the years really aren't that good, or they're made so cheaply with a lot of mineral oil or petroleum jelly, just a lot of heavy, crappy products. So really, do your research and figure out not only what works best for your hair, but what each actual ingredient does. So that would be my big tip for today. Really go through the products you have, look at the ingredients, see what your hair likes, what it doesn't like, and I think that'll really help you in your natural hair journey.